But if you truly love black people, you'll give it all up, because that's what Christ did. But he loved black people so much that he gave up his life. So I'll gladly give my life up for people too. But you also have to give them instruction, which is what black people don't want to do. Which is why they'll still flood that Christian church, because flooding that Christian church means I can still get high, I can still pop whores. Flooding the conscious community means I can still get high, I can still pop whores, which is why the most famous woman in the conscious community is who? The conscious stripper. You'll never hear a goddamn Hebrew Israelite stripper. It'll never come up. But in the conscious community, you can have a conscious stripper. And that's the most important woman on the face of the planet in the conscious community. Now, they'll address that. You know, I done seen about 25 different shows. So like, I done seen about 25 different shows on a conscious stripper. Which is the proof that the Bible is the only solution, because the Bible would teach you never to throw a woman away.
Right. It ain't enough room on a slave ship for niggas like me. Wild and untamed, violent, no chain can silence my brain. Pain is no object. No, I need struggle and progress. No, I'm the one that God bless, so no man curse me. Enemies obsessed, they need controversy. I strike with furious anger. No.
Got Captain Tazaryach back on Ready for Art. Peace to the family. ISUPK Hebrew Israelites. Tell us about what you got going on in regards to the barbecue, the cookout.
Oh, okay. At first I want to say all praises go to the Most High and His Son Yahweh King. Of course, I'm Captain Tazaryach of ISUPK under Commander Jenny Yohana. I got Officer Capt next to me and Officer Zakar. I appreciate our Hennis providing a platform once again. We had an excellent build the last time we got together, so I felt it would be good to use it again. We got a ton of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on outside in the world, you know, that really needs to be addressed. A few things we got the cookout, of course. Last year was excellent. I met a lot of brothers, and it was actually an excellent build of brotherhood that I felt. So we want to do it again out in Harlem, the same park, Marcus Garvey Park. It'll be July 25th. Y'all can come out there at 1 o'clock. We broadened the menu apparently. Our Hennis will be happy. We're going to have vegetable food there. You know what I mean?
Ready for raw food on deck?
Ready for raw food to be there. You know what I mean? Because apparently vegan is more popular than what I thought. Me being a meat eater, I prefer meat. But so we're broadening it up. So it'll be a good day, you know, for brothers and sisters of different, like you ain't got to be, like we consider all of us Israelites, even though if they call themselves by different ideologies or whatever. So it's just a good time for us to come together, and it's not a combative moment. You know what I mean? Like we battle all the time,
right,
you know, with information and stuff like that. So we should have a moment where we can get together and it's not an argument. You know, it's something where we can sit down and be the family that we're supposed to be. The Most High say, gather yourself together, O nation not desired. So why be around people where I got to contend with him all the time when we should not? So that's what the cookout is about. So Lord allow, you know, y'all come out there and enjoy it with us.
Okay, that's beautiful. There was actually a big Hebrew event in Harlem last week. Now, I was there. The Hebrews from all factions showed me a lot of support.
Right.
But I didn't notice any UPK members there. Was that for any particular reason?
It wasn't on purpose. I had told Danielle and Hashar that I was going to try to make it, but I just had some engagements that I just couldn't shake with the time frame. So unfortunately, I had to miss that one.
Oh, okay.
That's all. But I had made the other one that they had out here in Brooklyn that Danielle and Hashar did. So I had made that one. And you know, if we can make them, we'll make them. But you know, sometimes we have a schedule too. So we have some stuff that just conflicted date-wise.
Okay, cool. All right. And right now in the conscious community is the tempo is evolution and creationism. Now I did see your face on Sonetta flyer, and then the next week you were gone. Now what was that about? I know at UPK the mantra is no cowards.
That's correct.
Right. So
home of the truth, no coward. We got a ton of them. No sweat. That's not my lingo. That's the school's lingo.
Okay.
So yeah, we got a bunch of them. And the August 2nd conference, ISUPK never committed to doing anything. That flyer that had my picture on there was false. I probably wouldn't even chose that photo. I might have done an up-to-date photo or something like that. But it was just somebody just slapped and put my name on there when I never agreed to do it. Now the history of that conference, just to be honest about it, it wasn't originally supposed to be no science versus evolution.
Oh,
okay. I mean? When I think of dealing with evolution, and then I think of the conditions, and I'll explain what I mean about the whole lead up to it, but everybody know, like I heard that Tazaryach, when they talk about Tazaryach, they say he got a mantra or he got a spill. And my spill has always been the same spill since I've been in the truth, and that's the conditions of our people and how do we improve them. So if I'm involved in something that entails that, then I'm all for it. But if I'm not involved in something that does not entail that, then I'm not really for it. So when I think about science versus evolution, that's really following after Darwinism. It's following after what the so-called white man has the time to do. You know why the white man can go ahead and try to see how the earth was created and all that? Because he has a government already. He has a military already. He has a body that if you harm his people, he can go out and to defend those people. So we don't have a government, we don't have a military, we can't defend ourselves from the crimes that's being committed against us. So for all them so-called scholars that's going to be in that room, they all say that they're intelligent. Wouldn't it make more sense to deal with what fixes our conditions today? You had 9 people get shot in the church. You got cops shooting our people left and right. You got us shooting each other. You got us dealing drugs with each other. So if they're supposed to be so caring for black people, wouldn't it make more sense to do something like that? That's what it was originally supposed to be about. Back in April, I would say like maybe the beginning of April, me and Sanetta had actually talked about doing a conference, which is why I'm assuming he thought I was going to automatically be a part of this conference. And so what happened was he said, would y'all ever want to do a conference? I said, depending on the subject matter. He said, well, we want to do something where we deal with black conditions, where you take some people from the conscious community, some people from the Hebrew Israelite community, and give them an allotted time to see what can we do to fix our conditions. Of course, I told him, anytime y'all have that event, I'm all for it. Then around maybe the beginning of May or whenever, when this whole evolution thing came about, I told him I would have to go back to the school. I said, because that's not something I would even want to do. It's not something that I care about. I don't care about how the earth was created. Who cares? It's here. You know what I mean? Like the earth is here, the sun is here, fish breathe water, fish live in water, we live over air. But what's going to get my brother off of crack? Like I care about that. What's going to stop my daughter, or I shouldn't say my daughter because she ain't even old enough, and Lord will, she won't have to go through that. But what's going to stop these young daughters from aborting babies? Like what's going to stop child abuse? What's going to stop child support? Like to me, if you want to address that, then fine. But this science shit, you can miss me with that. And so I don't know why he put me on there. But he knew that my stance was that. And the last thing that I told him was that I'm not doing that. I would have to go to the heads of the school because you're changing it from what it was originally supposed to be. So of course he puts me on there anyway, which he had no choice but to take off, because I never even and I never even called him to tell him to take it off. I never called him to complain. I never called him to do anything. I still have not spoken to Sanetta about it, and I don't want to make it seem like I got an issue with him personally, because none of this is personal to me. He's just trying to, I don't know, bring the controversy with it. Because now you put my face on the picture, you take my face off the picture, then it's like ISUPK is scared, or ISUPK is this, or ISUPK is that. Where if you want to know creation, you go right in the Bible and find creation. And people think that it's nothing science in it because they just don't understand it. If I can give just a few examples, what protects the earth from outer space? Like them asteroids and stuff like that? The ozone layer, right? That's what they call it today. The Bible calls it a firmament that was created. And it says the firmament separated the waters on the out and deep space and the waters from inner space. I'm paraphrasing it. So now when you want to say that there's no science, Moses dropped that thousands of years ago. So why do I now need to study the ozone layer? I don't need to study the ozone layer. The white man want to study how to bust the ozone layer open. Do you know what it takes to go to outer space? Do you know why there's holes in the ozone layer? Because the white man, being the bastard that he is, busts holes to go into space when we're already in space. Which the Bible says the earth sits in space already too. The Bible says the earth is a circle. The Bible talks about the innumerable stars, where light comes from. All that stuff is already in the Bible, so I don't need the white man and his science to tell me anything. So we were never going to be in no science versus evolution. It's bullshit, all it is. It's really just an ego fest, if you want to be honest. And the reason how you know it's an ego fest is because none of them agree on the panel itself. If science was right and exact, all of them would be pushing the same exact form of science. All of them. But Umar got their form, Ali Muhammad got his form, Inky got his form. Bashir got his form. I'm pretty sure Divine Prospect will probably be the only one that got the closest form because he's using the Bible. And then you got Reggie with his form. If science was exact, you would only have one form. But science is a guess. They be killing me with science means to know, Kadazar. They always saying science means to know, but if they know, they would know that that shit is fucked up. That's what they would know.
That's right.
Period. Because it's not right and exact. It don't mean to know. It really just means to confuse. Because they, you know, people get mad at me because I say the earth ain't no more than 20,000 years old. I heard Ngozi say that that's foolishness because you got rocks that are millions of years old, right? So now the method that they use to do that shit is their book. So I got this
scholar.
Yeah, he's so-called scholar. I call them all so-called scholars. And I'm saying it to be disrespectful on purpose, in case they wanted to know, right? So now, and I say that because they disrespect us. Yeah. It's not like me saying I'm being disrespectful should be surprising because they shit on our philosophy. Straight up, straight like that. So why can't I shit on them too? And if they want to come and check us out, we'll be right on 125th. It's always blood on the floor. Their blood can be added right to the floor. It's no sweat. So now, you got this book called Refuting Evolution, and it deals with the rock science that they say proves that the rocking dating millions of years ago is supposed to be right and exact. And the method that they use is say this a K-AR potassium method, right? And so now I'll just read a couple. This is page 110. I'll just read a little bit of it. It says that there are many examples where the dating method, I'm just getting right to the meat of it, where the dating method gives dates that are wrong for rocks with a known historical age. Because what the first thing that they tell you that you got to understand is that they're testing decay rates for only about 100 years. So we can't be sure that they were consistent over the millions of years that they are saying. So now, it says that they took some rocks. They said one example is a rock from a dacite lava dome at Mount St. Helens volcano. It says, now, although we know that the rock was formed in 1986, that's when the rock was formed, when they ran the dating method, it dated that rock that was in 1986, it dated it to be 0.35 or 0.05 million years old. Wow. Even though we know that rock was in 86. But we sucking the white man's rod for his science. Then the second one is, it says, then they took another volcano from Mount Nagaharu in New Zealand. Now they took this rock and dated this rock. Those dates range from 0.27 to 3.5 million years, even though those rocks were formed in 1949, 1954, and 1975. So now you getting mad at me. Now wait, let me read this last part. It says, the secular scientific, what happens was that the excess radiogenic argon from the magma was retained in the rock when it solidified. The secular scientific literature also lists many examples of excess 40 AR causing dates of millions of years in rocks of known historical age. This excess appears to have come from the upper mantle below the Earth's crust. This is consistent with a young world, not an old world. And it says the argon has had too little time to escape. So if excess argon can cause exaggerated dates for rocks of known age, then why should we trust the method of rocks of an unknown age? Now that's just the rocks that we know. Now I shouldn't have to read this shit. I shouldn't have to read this shit about refuting evolution. The minute you see something with evolution and you know it was Darwinism, when they really was trying to declassify us. They was really trying to make us be the monkeys. Really trying to make us be the apes and then let them be so far superior. And all black people did was just reverse it. Whereas the white man thought they was the great ape. Now here come black people, now they the great ape. I don't want to be no goddamn ape. So you don't, I want to be a man.
So it's clear that you don't subscribe to the common ancestry of primates. You don't subscribe to that?
No, I don't subscribe to the common ancestry of primates. And then of course, even that is stupid. Because when you think about the planet Earth, right? Now, what lives on the planet Earth? You got birds that live on the planet Earth. You got apes, you got insects, you got ants, you got whales, you got sharks, you got dolphins. You got all these things living on one location, right? Wouldn't they have to have common elements, or so to speak? Wouldn't they have to have common things to be able to all breathe air, to be able to all eat plant life? We would have to all have common things amongst us. But that don't make us the same. You understand the difference? So nah, we don't come from no damn primates. And then in Ngozi, I'm glad you said, in Ngozi said something else. I saw him say where white people come from. He said white people came from Africa. And when I say this, y'all can never get mad at me for saying nasty ass Africans. Y'all get mad at me for saying that. But I'm about to tell you what Ngozi said, and he calling y'all some nasty ass Africans. He said that Africans from Africa went to either the Middle East or somewhere in Europe and saw Neanderthals and had sex with them. That's what he said. And he said, I don't know what was going on, but it's just like if you in jail and you ain't had none in a while and some white woman come around, you gonna sleep with the white woman. So if these Africans, listen, that's what he said. You can go look it up. But they're scholars. This is scholars. This is scholars. It's scholarship we talking about here. So, but at the same time, he said that they went up to Africa. Now, if they migrated, you would have to imagine that men, women, and children are migrating. Not just men. So it's not like men just went up there and then saw the Neanderthals and couldn't maintain discipline and slept with a beast. You had the whole nation of Africans, or however they want to word it, that went over to Africa, saw these Neanderthals and said, man, I want to fuck that. Excuse my language. I'll never see a beast. There's no beast on the planet that I could see, that's going to make me say, I'll die first.
I'm going to slide.
Yeah, I'll die first.
That's right.
To just get a nut off? I mean, I don't mean to say it that vulgar, but to just get a nut off, I got to sleep with the Neanderthal. But this is your science scholarship. So no, I don't believe that we come from primates. Monkeys have always been monkeys. Apes have always been apes. We have always been human. I would like to give the Most High more credit, and I would like to give humans in general more credit. I don't think that we had to evolve from an ape. I think that the Most High, when he created us with intelligence enough to create. The proof is in, I'll take it off of Israel. I'll take it off of being a Hebrew, period. The proof is in, I don't think it took billions of years for Egyptians to build pyramids. For the Babylonians to build them ziggurats, or whatever you want to call them. I don't think it took billions of years to do that. I think that when the Most High created humans, he created us intelligent enough to build all of these things. Even if you think about technology today, it took a billion years and this is all we could do, is make nuclear bombs, blow each other up, make crack, cook it up. That's all we could do in the billions of years of existence. Right. We're a young nation. When I'm saying nation, I'm encompassing the whole entire earth. We're a young planet and we're young, so I don't subscribe to none of that.
All right, now, some people could be watching UPK for the first time.
Right.
And you did just make some remarks to Africans. Are you condemning the whole continent of Africa as being nasty Africans? And where does that stem from in regards to?
Okay, I won't say all Africa. What I found out in okay, first let me say this, right?
Yeah.
We never really started talking about Africans like this. Which is why I be wondering what is the agenda of the conscious community. Because our number one enemy on this planet is the so-called white man. Right. If you come out and see us teaching at camp, you hardly see us put out videos where we condemning Africa, because Africa ain't doing nothing to us directly. Chinese people ain't doing nothing to us directly. Now, we may talk about how they take advantage of us in certain aspects, how we're separate, but for the most part, we're attacking the number one enemy, which is the white man first, and then the black man and black woman being against each other. That's our number one issue. Then you have the conscious community come in and pushing the whole African thing. Now, there are certain cultures in Africa which I feel are disgusting. Eating someone's heart is disgusting. Right. Sewing a woman's clitoris is disgusting. Right. What else they do? Putting them big ass plates in your lip is disgusting. So cutting your face up, marking your face. Like, we got videos where they taking a 3-month-old baby and cutting her face up. That's disgusting to me. Eating humans because you think you're going to take their life force. But they believe in evolution. But you're going to take their life force. If you're going to take their life force, obviously they don't believe in evolution. So when we be saying disgusting or stinking Africans, I'm talking about their practices and their customs. But what I find out, though, what I will have to say, what I find out, though, is that not all Africans do that. Just some Africans do that. So should I say some stinking Africans? It just don't sound as strong as just plain old stinking Africans. So that's why we say it. So, you know, I just say it really to just separate us from the customs that they practice. Now, of course, you can find Israelites that carry them same customs. You go into South America, you find them doing the same thing. You know what I mean? You go with black people, you may find some black people want to drink some period blood. Why are you drinking period blood? I'll never understand that either. You understand? So do we carry them customs? Yeah, but that don't make it ours. We're just copying after the Africans.
Okay. I want you to touch on what are the solutions that UPK are actually putting forward to the social ills that we're facing right now?
No sweat. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, was you gonna say anything else before?
Oh, I mean, you speak to it, and is there any results to what you're doing already that we can actually, maybe ready for we go behind the scenes and see, okay, UPK is doing X, Y, and Z
right
to freedom and or autonomy or whatever you like to classify it.
No sweat.
Like for the speaker.
When you see the men in this room, or if you looking at me, you're looking at the results of what ISUPK is doing. Because if you would have seen me 5 years ago, I probably, who knows what I could have done to you. Who knows what these brothers would have done to you? Be in your house, tying you up, or doing something like that. So when you see the men, that's number one. Now, of course, once you bring them in, you have to give them solutions. The first thing that black people need as a whole is brotherhood. Now, when I say brotherhood, that encompasses the sisters too. Because we love the sisters just as much as we love the brothers. Right. Sometimes we say the brotherhood is just as a collective statement, but we mean brother and sisterhood. And what we have to do, like when we say the black woman is a monster, we also say the black man is a gremlin. You ever seen the movie The Gremlins? And you feed them after midnight, and then you see them running wild? That's black people. We have become gremlins on here. So now what we first have to do is establish some type of morality among our people to get them to stop shooting, to get them to stop robbing. So we have camp, but we also go out into the streets directly. Like if you look at the state of Chicago, we have Capt out in Chicago directly dealing with brothers out there to fix their problem. And then not just giving them some performance or some dog and pony show, but we teach them, we educate them, we have constant counseling sessions for anybody that's going hungry or need food. We can send anybody that needs some food, you call us. We'll send you food. Anybody that need GED, drug rehab, anything like that, you contact us, we'll do it. When we get a school established, I'm glad I said that too. Right now in New York City, we are looking for a permanent building. Like right now we teach class at the MLK Rec Center in Harlem. But what we're looking for is a permanent building, whether it's in Harlem, the Bronx, Brooklyn, or Queens. So anybody out there that got information on a building that we can rent or own, please call me 862-224-9027. That's again 862-224-9027. Let me know if you got any information, because once we get a building in New York, we'll do the same exact thing that we're doing in Philly. Them GED programs and drug programs and food programs that exist in Philly, DC, North Carolina, stuff like that, we'll do the same thing in New York. But you can't just give them food without giving them a solution. Like black men need to be healed. When you look at black people, the attack on black men is to no end. Like when we say get rid of the white man, we ain't just talking about his person. Like we ain't just talking about kicking him out the neighborhood. You got to take his crack out the neighborhood too. You got to take his abortion clinics out the neighborhood too. There's tons of things that we need to do, and we go out and actually try to achieve those things. You know what I mean? No matter how hard it may be. Like I remember one time I was talking to Sinetta, he was like, man, it ain't gonna work because these people is hard-headed. I was hard-headed. These brothers was hard-headed. I'm pretty sure at some point you was hard-headed. And then if you have a care for black people, you'll go out and do the work. And so it may start out where you only get like 1 or 2 brothers that want to get themselves together. And then it may build and build and build and build. But if you're a quitter, then you'll quit and you'll be selfish. So we teach us not to be selfish and to care about somebody other than yourself. And that's these black people out here. When you think about them people getting shot in that Christian church is the whorehouse of Satan.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning Satan is the so-called white man, which people didn't understand when I say that the so-called white man was the serpent in the garden. I'm not talking about literally as much as I'm talking about spiritually. The same spirit that's in that serpent in the garden is the literal exact same spirit that's in the white man. And the Christian church is the whorehouse, meaning that's who the white man has sex with, or the Christian church has sex with, to get the trinkets that the white man will give them. Which is why every time something happens to us, that Christian church goes out there and say, you got to forgive, you got to forgive. Now here's the problem, because a lot of people say, well, what happened with that situation
in Charleston, South Carolina?
Right. What happened with the situation out in Charleston, then that now means that's the proof that we have to throw the Bible away. Which an uneducated person would say, yeah, you're right, we got to throw the Bible away. But let me tell you why you don't. The Boston Marathon that just happened, right? And also when they got them Boston cats that blew up the legs on the white people, which I thought was pretty good. Get a Lord a hand clap for that one. Blow the white legs off. Now, when they caught them, right, they asked for the death penalty, right? Not only did they ask for the death penalty, but then at the hearing when he was getting sentenced and the people was allowed to speak, they still didn't want to give him no forgiveness, right? They shot a white cop, right? Some black guy shot a white cop, right? They didn't forgive that guy that shot the cop either, right? What religion were they? Christians. But white people know what justice is. Black people just don't know what justice is. And I'll give you one word why. It's called fear. Fear of white people is why we don't retaliate. It has nothing to do with the Bible, has nothing to do with Islam, has nothing to do with anything other than fear. The only reason why them North Carolina cats or South Carolina cats or even Baptist Christians is because the KKK burned so many crosses on their lawns, lynched so many black people that black people said, fuck it, I'll be a Baptist. Maybe that'll stop you from killing me. And it did not stop them from killing them. That very church, that AME church, that started because that cat Vesey was his name? Vesey was starting a slave revolt to fight against the cracker using that Bible. Some men read that Bible and understand exactly what you're supposed to do, like Nat Turner. Nat Turner saw in the sky a vision of a serpent. He didn't think of no literal snake like the conscious community did. He knew when he saw that serpent, it was talking about the white man, and he went about killing crackers to get his people free. Right. The problem is black people become crabs in a barrel where we pull each other down. That's the problem. It ain't got nothing to do with the Bible at all. Right. So we try to deal with that, and it's a hard job. It's not a job, which is why I commend these brothers that's in this room, which is why I commend the brothers in Philly and DC and all the way out in the UK, because this job ain't for everybody. Because this job is going to make you lose your family. It can make you lose your kids. It can make you lose your job. But if you truly love black people, you'll give it all up. Because that's what Christ did. Christ lost when he didn't have to lose. Real rap. This is a man that made the blind see, crippled walk, raised the damn dead. You mean to tell me when the guards came to come and get him? Matter of fact, when Peter chopped the cat's ear off, he put the damn ear back on. So you telling me the man that could do that could not have freed himself? But he loved black people so much that he gave up his life. So I'll gladly give my life up for people too. But you also have to give them instruction, which is what black people don't want to do. Which is why they'll still flood that Christian church, because flooding that Christian church means I can still get high, I can still pop whores. Flooding the conscious community means I can still get high, I can still pop whores, which is why the most famous woman in the conscious community is who? The conscious stripper. You'll never hear a goddamn Hebrew Israelite stripper. It'll never come up. But in the conscious community, you can have a conscious stripper. And that's the most important woman on the face of the planet in the conscious community. Now, they'll address that. You know, I done seen about 25 different shows. So like, I done seen about 25 different shows on a conscious stripper. Which is the proof that the Bible is the only solution, because the Bible would teach you never to throw a woman away. Right. That's what they don't understand. Like, there's nothing wrong with sleeping with any woman. Well, it got to be an Israelite woman for us.
So you're referring to Dr. Umar Johnson, who allegedly had relations with the woman who was a conscious stripper? And you're saying you wouldn't throw her away if you were dealing with her?
Right. You cannot throw a woman away that you're dealing with. Okay. The problem is, in this society, you're taught that you could sleep with 25 different men. 25 different women, but it's only when you go get the white man's piece of paper that you're actually married. When God says, when you lay with that woman, that's your woman. That's right. And you cannot put that woman away. Right. Now imagine if we live by that way of life. You wouldn't sleep with this random cat because you don't want to be with him past 2 weeks, let alone when you get, let alone for the rest of your life. Right. The same thing with that woman. Obviously, Umar Johnson didn't want to keep her for the rest of his life. So if we live by the laws of the Most High, we would not sleep with these random women, and we damn sure wouldn't put them away. In the Israelite school of UPK, you're taught, if you're not willing to give your life for that woman, if you're not willing to be under the goddamn Holland Tunnel with 2 cents, where you got to beg for money, but it's you and your woman together, if you're not willing to live like that, then you should not take that woman on.
That's right.
But everywhere else, you can bang these hoes as much as you want.
So is that a working philosophy within the UPK, the faction or the grouping?
What you mean as far as the...
Do all of the men and women, are you guys in like marriages?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you guys have these self-sustaining families that aren't parallel to the ones we see in the ghettos?
What you mean?
Or the hoods?
Like as far as what?
Well, as of right now, outside the conscious community or in the conscious
Right,
community,
gotcha.
there's a lot of single women with kids, a lot of single men who might have a lot of baby mothers or things like that. So I'm asking, is your version of Hebrewism, do you guys have these
Single mothers? Do we have single mothers?
Yeah, single mothers, or do you guys have women where it's self-sustaining, it's a working relationship?
Yeah, well, you can have women that are single mothers if they came in without a husband. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like if you come into being an Israelite and you didn't have a husband,
Right.
you can come in and be single. And if you choose to stay single, you can stay single.
Right.
But if you get a woman, then you cannot leave that woman. So you have to stay with that woman. You got to struggle. You got to fight. You can't hit the woman, of course, and she can't hit you. So you have to live that way.
Okay, so if I ask the brothers in the room right here, all of these brothers have women and or wives. I don't know. Could I ask the brothers to the left and to the
you
right?
can
of
ask
you?
them.
Do you guys? Because from the general public, you guys have a stain in regards to are there women with these gentlemen. I personally did a video with some other Hebrews for the Purim video, Purim event. So I did see that women do exist within the Hebrew focus. But do you guys have relationships with women, and are they healthy? Because as Tazaryach just said, we promote if you're not going to be with women at all for a long period of time, don't even consider her, right? So do you guys have working relationships?
I could take this one.
Yeah, you can take it.
I mean, when it comes down to it, just to touch on the first thing that you
Yeah.
said, there's the reason as to why you don't see women is because we don't confuse our gender roles according to the scriptures. You understand? Our women don't go on the front lines.
Right.
If you want to know where my woman is, she's taking care of our kids.
Right.
She's home right now. You understand? So now, as far as long as we, General Yohanan says this, and the reason why he says this is because he follows the scriptures.
Right.
We have a manual, and as long as both parties are following this manual, following what the Most High laid down for us, then there's not going to be any confliction. For example, the man is supposed to be the head of the household.
Right.
Whereas if it's 50-50, if I want to go left and she wants to go right, how do we resolve that issue?
How do you resolve it?
I'm asking you.
How would I resolve it?
If let's say, I'm just using a small
Right.
example. I want to go left, she wants to go right. How would we resolve that issue?
It'd have to be a compromise, and you might want to go a little forward, or you might go to
Before
the
the
right.
compromise,
Before
what
the
happens?
compromise.
An argument.
Okay.
You understand? So one of us has to fold or bend. You understand?
right.
Whereas if we do what the Most High says, where we have to follow a man, of course, who keeps the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High,
Right.
then that means that if I say left, we go left.
Right.
You understand? Whereas disagreements come in. More and more disagreements come in. And then because brothers don't have the knowledge of the Most High, then what happens? Now you don't want to deal with this woman. Now you throw her away. Now you got a broken family. Now this woman just became a whore in the eyes of the Lord because she goes and deals with another man after this man leaves her.
Right.
You understand? So as far as us, we have healthy, sustaining relationships, especially when we follow this diagram. You
So
understand?
there's no divorces in the UPK culture.
Okay,
I'll take that.
you like? Okay, no sweat.
Divorce is only if the woman commits adultery.
Right.
That's the only divorce that you can have. You can have, let's say if there's a difference between a man and a woman and it's so strong to where they need to be apart from each other for a certain amount of time.
Right.
The scriptures allow that too. But you're not separate. Like, let's say if I have an issue with a woman and we got to be separate for a time, that doesn't free her from her marriage to me, nor does it free me from my marriage to her. It just allows us to be separate for a time to eventually come back. But divorce itself would only be as if a woman sleeps with another man, then she don't belong to you no more anyway, because she belongs to the man that she just slept with.
That's right.
So in the UPK, if you hear about a divorce, then that means that that woman slept with another man.
Okay. We got through that. I do want to touch on something. I was at the Hebrew event last week, and a big topic was actually polygamy. Is polygamy something that you guys promote?
Okay, we promote it with wisdom, though.
Okay.
Meaning, as far as marriage, period, marriage is not a law. Meaning, as far as marriage, period, marriage is not a law where it says you have to have one wife, you have to have 10, you have to have 20, you have to have one husband. The only thing when it comes to you getting a woman is she cannot belong to another man. That's first. So if a brother says that he don't want no woman, he just don't have to have no woman. Ain't no big deal. If a brother say he want a few women, go on and have them. But you have to use wisdom with everything. Meaning, if you're not really the type that could really handle more than one, and you know it, then you should not do it. That's right. But polygamy is not against the scriptures, and really, polygamy ain't against nobody except the white man. In every culture, whether you have African culture, they have more than one woman. Arab culture, it's only the white man that come with their whole only one woman, and it's really when they conquered the Japhites that they came up with that, because they was taking their women, and the promise that they made to them was that they wouldn't have more than one woman. But that's a white man's bastardized culture. And again, it's polygamy. I mean, women. I mean, really, women shouldn't really be that selfish to only want that man to themselves. They should, be willing to share.
All right. So in this,
sorry, sis.
In this society, with that being said, in this society, a woman might say, "Could she have more than one man?"
No, she can't. I'm gonna give you now. I will use some white man science, and I'll use differently. A woman is not meant to have more than one husband, period. Now, I would just say first because the Lord said so. Right. That's first. Really, when it comes to laws, period. Now, we always end up explaining different examples why, but the Lord in his mighty, magnificent wisdom just gave it. It's just like a father. If I say don't go down the street, don't ask me why. Just don't go down the damn street. Right. Now, once you go down the street and get shot, then you'll say, that's why my father said don't go down the street. So now, when you look at the scientific DNA, when that sperm goes into a woman, it stays with her damn near forever. It's always with her, which is why they've proven that women can have a child with a different man, but it can have characteristics of another one, depending on how promiscuous that she is. So, right. No, a woman cannot have more than one husband.
Right, don't quote me on this.
1 second. Did you want to say?
Someone had a question on the live chat. They said, will polygamy eventually fracture the community?
No, polygamy won't fracture the community, because let me hit y'all with a bombshell. Every brother has more than one woman already. Every brother on the face of the planet, if you got a husband at home, he has another woman, period. Right. The only difference with Israelite School of UPK, will tell you up front, I have more than one woman. That's right. Now, that don't mean that the relationship that you have with your husband means you got to have a relationship with his women, because you're not married to his other women. You're only married to him. You understand? That's what a lot of people, they think polygamy means I got to have all my women lined up with me. Look at all my wives. Look at all. It's not, that ain't what it's talking about. The relationship is only between you and that woman. It's not between everybody. Right. But every man is already doing it already, period. We just got the heart to just tell you up front, you deal with me, I got this woman over here, that woman over there, whatever. Or you don't have to tell them at all. I personally think it's at least wiser to teach a woman that you're getting that you can have more than one woman instead of hiding it. That's right. You know what I mean? You hide it, you just weak. Right.
I want to go back to the debate circuit a little bit.
Yeah, no,
there was a time where Polight, and I think you guys...
One side, I just want to add one more thing. Right. And also, multiple semen from multiple partners also messes up the chemistry of that woman as well. Now, just so I could piggyback or veggie back, as you would like, right?
Hey, yo, I don't want to know. I'm not back.
No, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. Or veggie back.
Yeah.
We have no problem with science, per se. I don't want it to make it seem like because it's the white man and his science, it's an issue. Right. Because we're using technology right now that the white man also invented as well. It's just that when it comes to the whole evolution, it's not exact enough. Like when I did that thing on the street with Unc and he was telling me we got to take a DNA test, you heard me say you could take a DNA test for a child. because when you take that DNA test for a child, it's 99.9% accurate. There's been no anomalies, so you can go with that. But with ancestry and stuff like that, you can't deal with it. So when it comes to science, there's some things that you can use, but there's a ton of it that you can't. So I just wanted to say that in case somebody say, well, why he using science when it fits him? I don't use science when it fits me. I use science when it's correct. If it's correct, I'll deal with it. You know what I mean? If it's incorrect, then I just won't.
Yeah, speaking on the science, a lot of these things are theories anyway. So
That's correct. And a theory is a guess itself.
Right. So I want to take it back to, I think it was a debate that you and Polight were actually planning. Is that still going to happen as well, or is that something under the rug?
Okay. The debate with Polight, right? You know, and it's my profession to, I guess, like keep up with all the nonsense that goes on in the conscious community and stuff. And then a lot of people, I've actually had a lot of people message me through text and Facebook, like, why am I ducking Polight, right? And the first thing that strikes me, I'd be a little disappointed when people ask me, why am I ducking Polight, as if I didn't beat him the first time that we debated. As if every time he's been in front of me, he hasn't been the one that's taken the L. So to make it seem like I'm ducking Polight don't really make no sense to me because I never lost to him. It's like if someone asks Mayweather, why you ducking Pacquiao? Or asks Mayweather, why you duck De La Hoya? Or why you duck this person? When Mayweather gonna tell you, I outclassed him. I outbeat him. I outclassed Polight when we first had the debate. So to say that I'm ducking him or not wanting to debate him, just don't make no sense to me. If anything, the only jilted lover or jilted obsessor is Polight.
Right.
That's why he's making all these videos and can't stop talking about me.
Right.
When do I talk about Polight? When someone asks, now if someone asks me about it, but I don't come out my mouth saying, man, Polight, I'm gonna beat you, or Polight, I'm gonna do this, because he don't count to me.
Right.
Really, he don't count to nobody. All he's about is contention. That's it. Now I'm gonna use an example, right? I saw a live stream, and then I'll get back on it.
Right.
But I saw a live stream about the whole evolution thing. Now, again, it's my business. Now I watch it to poke the holes. Like I see Reggie and his nonsense. I see. It's sad. I'm gonna tell you what's sad, right? What's sad is that Bashir is one of the ones that's making sense to me. That's sad to me. You know what I mean? Because I smashed him too, Salakia, right? So it's but Bashir actually makes some sense, right? And Prospect as well. But I pointed out Bashir because he's not the most intelligent person to me. You know what I mean? But he's super smart with this jump. But it ain't that hard because it's evolution. Y'all gotta forgive me, man. I say whatever, you know, it just come out. So, I saw this John, right? So you had Reggie, Bashir, Prospect, and Inky all on the panel, right? Now, again, I don't agree with none of the evolution, but they were willing to stay on the topic of evolution. And then here comes the contention man. You know what I mean? Which to me was bitch made what he did. Like they should take a you know, we make these t-shirts, they should get a t-shirt with a stop sign, put stop being bitch made and put his face on there. Right? I might get checked for that. I might get in trouble for that. But it's the truth, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because, and again, I don't agree with none of that evolution nonsense or whatever. But the proof of the contention is when Polight calls in there, he don't call to talk about the topic of evolution. What he calls, he wants Divine Prospect to have an issue with me. That's what he wants. He wants Divine Prospect to have an issue with Nasi. He wants Divine Prospect to have an issue with Hashar. When Divine Prospect said, if I have an issue with them, I'll go to him and him alone, as the Bible says. The Bible says if you got an issue with a brother, you go to him and him alone. And if you're able to work it out, nobody else has to know. If me and Divine got an issue and we work it about amongst ourselves, the earth does not have to know. We solved that problem. And let me tell you something, that will fix a lot of black people's problems.
Right.
Black people don't have to know about other black people's issues that they have with each other. If we can solve it amongst ourselves, you understand? But in that world, or in his world, where it's all about contention and controversy and all that, he wants it to bring forth an issue. So when it comes to a debate, I won't go into, first of all, everything that they said, they were full of shit. They were lying. It was not true. None of that. Now, I won't go into all the details because we don't debate. We don't, like, you know, like in boxing, you know, they'll try to negotiate through the public, right? Which is what Polight is doing. He's trying to negotiate through the public and then think that will provoke us to move. or in like a bully mode. But we bully bullies.
Right.
You know what I mean? We don't get bullied. I ain't got bullied yet. You know, I done had, in my short time in the conscious community, I done battled probably about 7 or 8 of them. And I bullied them all on purpose. So we don't get bullied. It'll never happen. So they came to us and they said they wanted to do a debate. That's what they said. So we had the Passover. We said we ain't doing nothing until after the Passover. Then we had the cookout, and we had other things that we had that was lined up. So we said if we did anything, it would be more towards the fall, or it would be more towards the winter, like maybe October or something like that. So, and then I told him, I said, well, y'all have to send us an offer, because I hear the shit he's saying on the video saying that they offered to do it for us to do it for free. That's a goddamn lie that they offered it. What they gave us was an offer, emailed us the offer, and they wanted it to be for July 12th, which before he even sent it, I told him July 12th was out of the equation. Now, the history on that is they had already bought the spot for July 12th for another debate that was separate. So now they want us to come play Captain Save a debate and then come and fill their time slot. That's really what it was about, which is why they pushing July 12th. Which is why they got an event on July 12th that don't even involve us, but who are they talking about? Us. Right. Because Israelites are the most important thing to the conscious community because we're the only lightning rod, period.
Right. That's right.
Nobody give a fuck about what they talking about in the conscious community. That's real rap.
Right.
Which is why they got to come up with something new to talk about. Something new to talk about. When really, if the conscious community is about people getting people conscious, and you see all the killing, murdering, and stuff that's going on, that should be the #1 priority for every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian on the face of the planet. Right. Period. Clap for the brother, man. It should be the #1 thing that is our issue. It shouldn't be no science, evolution. It shouldn't be nothing like that. Damn sure. Like, and there's a place for debates. I'm not against debates, but you have to be grounded in something. For example, science, evolution. Polight now believe in evolution, but he just had a lecture 2 years ago where he said aliens helped the Egyptians build pyramids. So how the hell aliens helped the Egyptians build pyramids, but now evolution, we just evolved? Some shit like, you know what I mean? Before that, he was in the Nubians, believing in York was 6 trillion years old. He come from planet Risk. The earth was going to end in 2004. That's what he believed in. And, you know, so he's never been grounded in nothing. He used to say the white man was the devil, now the white man is not the devil. So when they come and say that we're supposed to do it and they make it seem like, just look at their reputation. If y'all look at the very first video that ISUPK put up in regards to them, I had to check Sonetta publicly for lying on us then. And what he lied about was he claimed that we was ducking them then. And I had to put him on Front Street and show him on my phone how I asked him to email me to work, and then we would respond to him. He knew he was wrong then. Then you take the Ali Muhammad debate, right? The Ali Muhammad debate, what did he do? He said Ali Muhammad was debating Commander General Yohana, which was a flat out lie. He had to come to my school and publicly apologize then. So the only one that really has a reputation of being conniving or slick is them. We don't have that reputation. If I was to even go a little further, they're the ones that told me that Ali Muhammad didn't want to debate us. They're the ones that said it. Period. Now, how true that is, Ali Muhammad would be able to verify that or whatever, but that's the truth. So, when it came to this debate, they sent us the offer. They sent us an offer for July 12th. Now, I didn't like the date, but we told them that we would get back to them on it. So I guess we didn't get back to them in a timely manner. So then they went on the internet and tried to say, we sent them this thing months ago. General Yohana say he gonna battle everybody, which we will. But it'll be on our terms. If you're the champion, like, do you not see how they was trying to get Mayweather to fight Pacquiao? And I'm only using Mayweather because that's most recent. They kept trying to get Mayweather to fight Pacquiao. Mayweather was like, I'm the champ, it's gonna be on my terms. What ended up happening? It was on Mayweather's terms because he's the champ. Right. Well, ISUPK has not one single loss. Right. So if we debate anybody, like if we take the time out of our normal business schedule to go out and debate anybody, it'll always be on our terms. Now that don't mean that we'll do it in a tyrant form. Shit, Mayweather paid Pacquiao a lot of money. You understand? So it don't mean, and I'm not talking about us paying anybody money, I'm just using it as a metaphor. So because we didn't answer in a timely fashion, they chose to do it that way. So we told Polight, We told Sarnetta, we gave them our terms, what our final terms was going to be. We've never made them a financial amount to pay us, ever. Because Polight's on the video saying we asked for a certain dollar amount. We didn't ask for no dollar amount. Not one single dollar did we ask for, period. They're lying. When we gave them our offer, they try to say, well, the only way we'll do it is if it's for free. Then they wanted to do it if it's for free. Now, I would have had more respect for them if they would have started out saying that we should do it for free. Like if they gave us the offer and the offer said we're going to pay for the venue or whatever and we're going to do it for free, and then we turn them down or we didn't respond to them in a timely manner, then they would be correct saying that it was going to be for free and we turned it down. But it was only when we made our counter offer, which they did not like, then it's like we should do it for free. Which is also crass, because for black people also to get together, black people have to do business with each other. What I mean by that is these t-shirts that we got, right? These t-shirts particular are Puerto Rican. She's Puerto Rican, right? The Puerto Rican sister made them. Now, I used to go, when I used to do the first t-shirts, because I didn't really know nobody, I used to go to the so-called white man and get the t-shirts made. But now that I know that there's brothers, Red Pill, I talked to Red Pill, I'm talking to him about the t-shirts or whatever, he plugged me with a brother. So I let the brother do the shirts, because I'd rather make money with him than make money with someone else.
Right.
When I found out about these shirts, I get with the Puerto Rican sister, so I'd rather make money with her than make money with somebody else. So if we're going to do a debate, why couldn't we make money together?
Right.
Because what that debate does, it feeds the venues, because then people bring their tables out. So they're able to make their money.
Right.
We will be able to make our money. So why we can't do that in a righteous manner instead of an unrighteous manner?
So what would be the unrighteous manner? Because I heard you say
Them lying.
oh, them lying, not the part of not the part of, all right, so not the part about not charging. You okay with the debate?
I am okay with charging. Let me tell you, so black people have a problem when they hear that you got to pay money, right? But they don't have a problem going to Macy's. If you go to a movie theater, you're paying to be entertained for a movie theater. And the movie tickets cost about $20 a piece.
Right.
The popcorn costs about $20 a piece. You could spend about $60, $70 in a movie theater. And you telling me that you cannot support your brother or your sister?
Right.
You understand what I mean? And you're not going to rob the Israelite school of UPK, period. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So no, I don't have a problem. I have a problem when you're lying and when you're being deceptive. And what they're doing is making it to where I will never do anything with them again. That's what they're doing, period. Because you have to have some fucking honor. Like if you don't have no honor, then what else do you... Like you should be a man of your word. Like if I take Sarnetta for example, there's things that Sarnetta has asked me not to do. And as a man of my word, I said, no, I'm not going to do that. So now when I ask Sarnetta not to do certain things, he should be the same man of his word and not do it too. He's not been that. Polight, now see, I look at Polight a little differently. Like what Polight's doing, I kind of expect him to do because I look at him as a heathen. That's what heathens do. When I say heathens, mean it's someone that's not my people. So I look at him like the snake that he's being. It's just not work. And then now they saying that we doing all this ducking, and then I see a damn flyer. Hold up, let me pull it up. I got to pull this up real fast. Now I saw this flyer. I'm gonna see if I can put it on your camera. Now they saying that on the video, Polight says that the money that we asked for was insane, and that they wanted to do it for the people. We wanted to do it for free. They did not. It's a lie. If I ever have to prove it, I have the email where the PDF file has the money that they was offering us. It's only when we gave them our counter that then they wanted to do it for free, which shows you what they would rather do is give us shit money instead of giving us what would be right. Like we wouldn't abuse nobody. If I do something like I want to do stuff with Joel, with his bookstore, right? I'll even do stuff with Divine Prospect, right? Even with Quebesanev, right? So now if we do something and we in a venue, I'm not going to rob him. He's a Puerto Rican, that's my brother. I ain't going to rob Prospect, that's my brother. I'm going to make sure that where he gets a nice split, he gets a nice, and we all walk away happy, because you know what'll happen? We'll do more business together.
Right.
We'll do more things together. But if you're going to think you're going to give me some shit deal, it's just not gonna work that way. But this is let me see how good it looks. Now they say that we asked for money that's insane, but on But this flyer here says the Hebrew redemption coming soon this fall. They put a flyer out. Now they saying they mad at us because we won't do it for free, but then they gonna put out a false flyer to say that we doing something with them this fall when we ain't. Listen, it's news to me. Put that on camera. It's news to me. I'm not doing. I've never agreed to do anything with them. You understand? So it's like it's damn near cowardice. That's why I call them bitch made.
Did they put UPK or did they or
slack.
are they doing business with other Hebrews though? Was it UPK on there?
No, well that's ISUPK logo. If you look at it again.
Oh, okay.
That's our logo.
Put it on the camera.
Okay, I'm sorry, Salaki.
Yeah.
That's our logo. And they're saying that they're saying that we're doing a debate. Like I sent that to one. Don't scroll too.
Nah, I ain't trying to
you
scroll.
gonna get upset and keep scrolling to the left. Wait, let me get that from my friend. Let me get that. Oh, wait, I'll pull it up again. Y'all see, we got sense of humor, right? You start scrolling, don't scroll. No, I'm messing with you. I'm just messing with you, bro. I'm just messing with you.
It's all good.
So.
Man.
It's damn near cowardice what they're doing. And those tactics, like you could say, like when I say people that they work for the white man or follow the white man, when I see those type of tactics, it just make me lose respect for you. You know what I mean? Because I've never, and I'm one that's actually, and I still don't, and understand this too. This ain't got nothing to do with really having an issue with Sinetta, Polight, or really anybody in the conscious community. It's really more so just about telling the truth. And if you're going to try to slander us, at least slander us with something that's correct, as opposed to slandering us with something that's incorrect. Like people get on us about the Africans and they want to slander us about that. But it's true how we feel about Africans. Right. And even when we say hate Africans, the reason why people really get upset, because anytime somebody hears the word hate, they look at the white man's reputation of hate. So they think about the lynching, the killing, the drug epidemic and so forth like that. But when I see them pictures, what them Hamites do with putting their face in the cow's ass, and I hate that. Right. You understand what I mean? So when we say we hate Africans, it's not as harsh as our hatred for the white man. Like my hatred for the white man is I wish they never existed ever on the face of the planet. Right. I can't wait till the Lord comes down. Like the scriptures say, behold, I send for fish, they shall fish men, which is what we're doing now. Then it says you will hunt men. I pray for that day that I can hunt the so-called white man under the Most High in Christ. When I can do that, it's ball game. You understand what I'm saying? So that's really what it's about. So they just cowards. I mean, it's weak. It's not gonna move me. Like y'all ain't see me make no tape. You know what I mean? Like I didn't technically come here for this interview to do that. I came here to promote the cookout. And like I said, me and Argenis rather had an excellent build the last time, but I knew that I would have to address these questions because, of course, everybody wants to know is ISUPK ducking. We are not ducking nobody. They're just dishonorable men, period. When you get some fucking honor, then you can call me. Then you can contact me.
I'd like to know, what does spirituality look like and or feel like from your culture? Because obviously right now, everyone's focused on the evolution versus creationism, and it seems like people that
look up the word spirit for me, please.
Subscribe to creationism or an intense level of spirituality, they're really vying for the creationism side or the mythology side, whatever is being labeled. I want to know what does spirituality look and or feel like to you guys? Because from my perspective, it seems like everyone has their own version, at least when they talk about it.
Right. When I look at the word spirit first, it says the force within a person that is believed to give the body life, energy, and power, the inequality of a person. Then give me spirituality after that. What we got to do too, and this is what's wrong with like the Christian church and them Cometians. They the first the Kemet cats. They the first Christians.
Kemet is the first Christian.
Yeah, they the first Christians. I'll explain that in a second. It says spirituality, the quality or state of being concerned with religion or religious matters, the quality or state of being spiritual. Now even that definition is really mumbo jumbo when you think about it, because it says the quality or state of being concerned with religion, when religion means to divide. You know what I mean? It's not really about coming together. And what we have to do when we take words is we have to take the mysticism off of words. Like I remember when I was at in the Black and Nobel store, and I asked people, what does holy mean? And when I asked what the word holy mean, I just saw the heavens open. I'm looking at the people's face, and it's like the heavens open, and they ain't like holy, like that. when you get to the definition of the word holy, it just means separate. Separateness.
Right.
It's just that simple. A spirit is just something that dwells within you, but when people think of spirituality, they make it this magnificent thing, when really for me, my spirit says keep the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what spirit is.
Right.
The spirit say I should have no other gods but him. That's what my spirit is, so that's what I do.
Right.
That's what spirituality is. Spirituality is not whatever they making it to be, because all they're really doing is just hustling you. They're saying I'm spiritual, but I believe in evolution. If you believe in evolution, you can't be spiritual, because evolution believes that when you die, that's it. But they just found how many dogs? They just found 8 million mummified dogs in Egypt, but they believed in evolution, or Anubis wasn't real. But they found 8 million dogs in mummified dogs rather in Kemet, because they actually believe in Anubis. They believed that dog had, so they would take them dogs and hope they could make it through the eternal life or whatever nonsense that Egyptian mumbo jumbo is. So spirituality to me is just something that's keeping the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us. Period.
I want to go back to. You
Let's say Kemet was the Christians.
Oh yeah, we can go back to that. Let's go back to that. Yeah, let's go back to that.
The reason why I say Kemet are the first Christians, because they ain't doing shit either. Kemet ain't doing nothing. No, they're not doing nothing. What is Kemet gonna do now that them people got shot? You know what we gonna do? We gonna have if I had that conference, right? If I had that conference August 2nd, it was about science and all that bullshit, and that murder been happening, going on, I would change the subject. I would change the subject, I would change the title, and I'd say, listen people, we have to address what's happening to our people. Get them, like with all that knowledge or respect that they have, they should be using that knowledge to take the veil off of black people's face. The veil that's on black people's face is, God is all love, we got to forgive the white man at all costs, and we can't fight back.
Right.
So now, they should cancel that science bullshit and say, this is how we, even though I don't agree with them, they should still show me something. But Kemet don't show nothing. So now let's go back to Kemet and their origins. You got Geb and Newt. Is it Newt? Their brother and sister. They was having sex with each other. The Lord had to, their father had to separate them, which is why you now have the sky and then you have the earth. And then Geb was so mad, I guess he masturbated in his mouth and spit forth creation. Now, you fast forward now, you got Santa Claus, he come down the goddamn chimney, bring you gifts. Right. You got an Easter bunny where they got an Easter egg hunt every goddamn year. Now, what's the difference between that and Kemet? None of them are real.
Right.
Reggie and them said they already admitted that they're not real. We already know Santa Claus is not real. So the first Christians were Kemet.
Right.
People would say these things are metaphors, though, and I'm sure that there's things in the Bible that might not be as literal, right?
Listen, you're right. There's stuff in the Bible that might not be literal. But who wants to know that their gods were sister and brothers having sex with each other? Who wants to know that the God that's a metaphor nutted in his own mouth? I'm never swallowing nuts. I'm sorry. Ever. Just to even thought of it. And if y'all ever needed a metal netter, I think I got my book. Where's my book back? How's it how? Give me that laid it in his mouth or something.
You got it in Metanetta?
Nut ass shit. Nobody wants to believe that. So now, the Bible has metaphors too. None of them will reference any homosexual activity between a man, a woman and a woman. If anything, we have condemned it all the way. Now, what does nature or God or Nasut or whatever you want to call it that has a sister and sister and brother sleeping with each other, what will that do? That'll make the Pharaoh's sisters and brothers sleep with each other, like King Tut. King Tut look all jammed up because his parents were sister and brother.
Right.
Akhenaten slept with his own daughters. Now, when your gods is like that, you follow that.
Right.
Why do we believe God is all love and all that nonsense? Because we believe in a white man as Jesus Christ when he's not. Right. We believe John 3:16 is talking about everybody when it's not.
Right.
So that's why they are the first Christians. And they're proving my point, Reggie and them, because they love telling me how they not true. You know what I mean? How now the potter's wheel, Bashir brought up Kanun or the potter's wheel, and how that meant creation, And Polight is like, no, that's not what it means because we got to have the right conditions. This nigga said you can create if you get a little bit of moisture, you get a little bit of darkness or light, or you don't need light, and you can create something. Well, nigga, create something now.
Right.
Like, and then what is those right conditions?
Right.
That's what everything, like, they like to call us, they like to say we believe in spookism. You telling me something got to be the right conditions, that's spookism. You know what I mean? You telling me that you can create something by taking a little bit of moisture and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, that's spookism. Even telling me Africans slept with Neanderthals, that's spookism. Even though they might, I mean, you know, slack. Slack, I'm sorry. So yes, they are the first Christians on the face of the planet because there is no homosexual metaphors in the Bible, but there's tons of them. Two of their guys one of their guys either got banged in his ass or got threatened to be banged in his ass with Horus and Seth. Right. And then it don't stop there. They turned themselves into hippopotamuses to see who could breathe underwater the most. Then they had a trial amongst the other gods where Horus or Seth called sperm out of their ear or brain. Now, you can tell me it's metaphor. I won't argue with you that it's metaphor. But if I'm starting from scratch, I have nothing that I believe in, but I'm against homosexuality, I will not follow the religion where the gods are homosexual metaphors of anything. I cannot do that.
If this is a focus, do UPK have remedy for homosexuals if that's an issue? Because
because a homosexual is a demon just like any other demon. It's a lust just like any other lust. And you can defeat that demon, but you cannot be told that it's okay to do it. That's the first thing. Which brings up another thing that Kemet ain't dealing with. They just passed a damn law in America where every state now is forcing you to be a homosexual. Which what makes the Bible so goddamn true in Revelations 11th chapter when it says that this place will spiritually be called Sodom and Egypt. Right. Sodom for the homosexuality, Egypt for the bondage that we were in. Right. So now the only solution you can go to is you first have to be taught or shown that you're not born gay. There's no such thing as being born gay, because if you could be born gay, then you could be born a murderer. So let's not bother the murderers. You could be born a thief. Let's not bother the thieves. So you're not born that way. That is something that is taught, and it's damn near like if your child is stealing, you're not gonna teach them that it's okay to steal. You're gonna teach them that it's wrong. You see a child putting on some goddamn women's shoes, you don't encourage it. You go against it. So it just really comes with teaching. Like when we say we casting out demons, we don't mean like people think a magic act with that. They think it's some ugly ass nigga or something like that, and you like that. That's not casting out demons. You cast out demon with cigarettes. On the boxes say it causes cancer. So when you smoke a cigarette, you are killing yourself. Right. So when you get them to stop, you just cast out a demon. When you get someone to stop committing adultery, you cast out a demon. You get somebody to stop eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, you just cast out a demon. You get somebody to stop being a homosexual, you just cast out a demon, and all you have to do is just teach them. Say again? Shaping up. Oh, that's a stickler for Zakar. You teach them to stop getting them shape-ups, you casting out a demon too. Zakar needed me to say that as well. So that's what it means, you know, when we deal with homosexuality. Homosexuality is no different than any other lust. It can be corrected. It can be fixed.
Back and forth like this.
Right. No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the October 10th, the Farrakhan million man march.
The third re-up of money. From Farrakhan. Yeah. Third waste of time. Yeah, that's a real money.
Million Man March anniversary, 20th anniversary.
Right.
So 20 years ago there was a Million Man March.
Right.
I want to get your take on it, and also he's been quoted saying he's not for marches. So I don't want to say this is a march per se, but it's a commemorance to what they happened.
And what did they do then? They marched.
Right.
It's a commemoration to March.
I'm assuming that there may be some actual more solutions coming this.
Yeah, you're gonna have gays with them too, though.
So you won't be there.
Now you say I'm gay? No, I'm fucking with you. No, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Listen, Israel, we got a sense of humor. I'm just messing with you.
Of course.
No, I wouldn't be at no damn Million Man March. The reason why I brought up the gay thing, because the gay thing was on. This the third one, right? The second one, he had gays with him too.
Oh, I don't know the history of it.
Yeah, I was actually, because I was here yesterday and I saw King Simon and he was dropping that on me because I didn't even know that. And King Simon, the one informing that he had gays with him on that one too. And he's going to have gays with him on this one too because our issues cannot be addressed by themselves. You know what I mean? Even when they talk about being a homosexual, they compare it to being black. As if being black is a disease or being black is a mental defect, which is what they used to call homosexuality. You know what I mean? He might need a new helicopter. That might be why he's doing the Million Man March. But it's not going to do anything for the fixing of black people. How do I know? This is the third one. What has the past 20 years brought about with those marches? Like, how much marching are we going to do? How about separation? Why we marching to the White House for? Why are we going to D.C. for? How about he take them million niggas and put them in Chicago on the corner to stop them from shooting each other? He could do that. I mean, he's from Chicago, but his son is a cop. You know what I mean? So, like, it's like a shame that these men, it's a shame to me that Commander Jenny Hanna isn't allowed to be on the forefront, but Farrakhan is. That's a shame. Because Jenny Hanna wouldn't say, get a Million Man March to march down to D.C. He would say, fuck D.C. He would say, let's go to Chicago, let's go to Brooklyn, let's go to New York. Take these same, and he would strategically place them million brothers, strategically place them throughout the city and put an end to black on black crime.
Right.
Period. Because we need black men in the household. We need black men on the corner, strong black men on the corners more than we need them down in D.C.
Right.
But of course, it's money to be made. Like, he's no different than the average hustler. He just got a different agenda. You know, a different perspective. He coming from the so-called
Nation Islam?
Yeah, Christian Islam. You said it right. Because you said Christian Islam?
Nation Islam.
Oh, I thought you said that must have been the spirit, right? That's the magic spirit. No. I'm just messing. But when I say Christian Islam, because he believes in interracial marriage too. You know why he could believe that? Because his daddy a white boy, Far Muhammad. So because Far Muhammad, they call him God. They call Far Muhammad Allah.
Right.
So their man is God too. So then it starts showing you why he can take those men and bring them down to D.C. to the White House. Because it's just another hustle. That's all it is. It's not really, none of that is, because after the Million Man March is over, then what? You know what I mean? We got to do, like, we can't be so caught up in the event that we don't think about when they go home. Which is just what the Christian church is like that too, where they deal with the event. You come into the Christian church, you got the singing, the dancing, the shouting, the screaming, but then you go outside and nobody's caring for them. So the Million Man March, everybody gonna get caught up with the event. Everybody gonna come down there, take their photos, take their pictures, but then what happens when you go to your home and they're still getting shot? The drug dealers are still on the corner, but we got the phrase, stop snitching. You should tell on them niggas that's shooting your corner up. Why? If you don't tell on them, they're going to shoot you. If you do tell on them, they're going to shoot you. So how about get them in trouble?
Right.
You know what I mean? How about do something other than letting them run amok, destroying the community? And it's that fear that we have. Well, you put us on the corner, we don't fear no man. So you put Israelite School of UPK out there, we'll be fine. All right?
You mentioned separation as a possible solution. Now, in the past, people like, I guess, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, or even Malcolm X, or even Farrakhan at a particular point, used to talk a rhetoric that was similar to separation. It doesn't seem viable. Like, so, is that something? If it didn't work then, can it work now?
It depends on what you mean. Okay, they have to mean the separation. Like, you can't just say separation but then not mean it. You understand what I mean? Like, when we say separate, I'm not asking no black man to quit their job. You know what I mean? Because of course, we're in a captivity. So we're in what you would call hell. So we can't separate like that. But I see the Chinese man come over here, right? And when the Chinese man come over here, he joins in corporate America sometimes, or he open up a Chinese restaurant or something like that. But he builds his own city that's strictly for him. I see the Jewish man. He go out in corporate America, he work all day, and he go to his part of Brooklyn that's only for him. They got this city in Ramsey, New Jersey. They got the whole city that's only belongs to them, so much so they walk in the middle of the street, and when you drive in your car, you have to avoid them at all costs because they run the city. I see the suburbs, which are filled with white people, that they run their own city, got their own force called the police force that we try to fit in. That's another thing. The Jewish man has their own police force.
Right.
That's totally separate from the white man's police force, and they're allowed to police themselves. But do they still deal with other nations? Yes, they do. So when we saying separate, I ain't saying that you got to drop everything, but your money should go to your people. Your businesses should go to your people. Your love should go to your people. We shouldn't join the white man's military or police force. We should join our own. But then what happens is someone wants to be the boss, someone wants to be in charge. When the Lord always puts a man that's supposed to be in charge. When the time of Moses, he put Moses in charge. They fought him on that. You know what I mean? That's why his sister got the leprosy, charging him with the Ethiopian woman that he had when the Lord. So that's why she got the leprosy, because everybody always challenged the authority that the Lord set forth. Same thing with Christ. When Christ was in charge, they killed him the same way. So when we saying being separate, it's never about totally wiping away or going to some place, because right now we can't do that. Right now, I live in Jersey, they live where they live, but we're totally separate from this place.
Right.
But we still go to our slaveries, but everything that I do is for the upliftment of my people. Now imagine if everybody took that notion. When he does business, I only do it with him because that's my brother. I don't do it with everybody else. That's what we mean by being separate. When you think about the 50s with integration, we wanted the white man in our schools, we wanted them in our businesses, and look how it destroyed us. Imagine if no matter what harm the white man did to us, we always stayed separate, we would be so powerful right now, the white man wouldn't be able to do nothing to us.
Now, is it realistic to really preach or promote freedom while still working for somebody else that you've deemed to be the devil and or demon?
Hey, we was around the first devil, that damn Pharaoh, right? And all Moses wanted to do was serve the Most High for 3 days. That's it. We didn't ask to be free. We just wanted to go serve the Most High for 3 days, and Pharaoh said, "To hell no, who gonna build my shit?" And then the Lord killed them with plagues.
Right.
Nobody thought we could do that. Nobody thought when we went to Israel that we can kill them Canaanites and Jebusites and every other Zite that was in there. But we did that and established our kingdom. We're a small nation. Like what I'm talking about doing is it's like profound, because a lot of people they talk about doing it, but they're not really willing to do what it takes to do that. And that's because I'm taught by a great leader, Commander General Yana. And so it's not that it can't be done. It's just that people don't have no faith that it can be done. You understand what I mean?
Right.
But I've seen other nations take that same faith and they gather themselves together and get it done. So it can be done. We just got to be willing to do something that we never did, and that's put in real work. It's easy to just get up at 8 o'clock, go to your job, get off at 5, go to sleep. Get back up, go to your job, go to sleep. And then when somebody say, man, enough is enough, nah, man, we got it good over here. You know what I mean? So it's not that it's not hard to do. It's very easy to do. You just got to be willing to do the work. That's all.